Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness, how about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. Man, that is beyond long.
Look at this, he's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor, week 35 on the 2021-2022 PGA Tour, the John Deere Classic this week. You probably hear it over and over, but interesting field to deal with, but all the contests still pay the same. We're going to grind through it, find some good plays, and hopefully have a profitable week. Last week, DFS was just meh for me. Got about 40% back, was probably kind of lucky to do that. Well, I say that. I had Cantley, and so going into Sunday, I had a few that really could make some runs, and ironically, the guys around him did move up and make runs, but he fell backwards. And I had Scheffler, who really just didn't materialize much on the week. I went those two over Xander and Rory, which to start the week I thought was just horrible. Obviously, Rory had a tough few days there. Xander wound up winning it, had none of him, so knew it wasn't going to be any kind of big stuff, so I'll take it and move on to this week. Betting, we hit the Goddard up top 40. Cam Davis looked like he was going to be there, at least for the top 20 we bet on him, and +7 on the weekend did not get that done. So a little disappointing there. Didn't really have anybody close outright. Keith Mitchell was the closest, finished 6th, but he was never in it with those guys that were coming down the stretch on Sunday. Probably that morning was the most kind of sweat because we had Peters, Cantley double, which would have paid a nice healthy chunk of change. Peters loses in the playoff. Had Cantley won, that one would have stung a little bit, but Cantley obviously folded and was nowhere there. Few shout outs. Scotty Man hits for 2K on round 4. Had a chance at 20K, was winning the 20K before the Thagala double on 18 happened. OG John, he's on a nice little run this last month or so. 4X week again. Dirty Sheik hits for 7,500, first place in the $200 round 4 showdown. Nice lineup there. Nice hit. Good job. Promos this week. British for 30% off any package, including a 7-day risk-free trial. If you sign up for the monthly, you could do the weekly if you want, but monthly would get you the John Deere Classic, the Scottish, the Open, the 3M Open, and the Rocket Mortgage. Then we roll into the FedEx Cup and college football NFL prep as we hit August. So it'd be a good time to come check all that out. If you start with the weekly and want to upgrade, that 30% is locked in for life. So come give us a try out. 7-day risk-free trial. You do not get charged until after the 7th day. Rate and review us on iTunes. I'll be doing big giveaways for the British Open per usual. The way you get in for free is rate and review us on iTunes and then subscribe to this YouTube channel, like the video. In the comment section, tell me who you want to play in the 8K range. I think that's going to be a key range this week and where everybody's eyes fall to based on the top of the board. Listener League, dropped it down to 200 this week. Had a little bit of a fear of people either taking the week off or not wanting to play as much or maybe splitting up a little between the Live Tour and PGA. I saw DK's got a little round 1 showdown out. That'll be interesting to take a look at. So 200 this week. Last week's winner, link is in the description, by the way. Limited rate, flat payouts per usual. Last week's winner, Mocon 377, 496.5 points. He had Cantley, X, Riley, Neesmith, Long, and Schwab. Solid 6-6 there. Last week 6-6 was very low. So just having that alone give you a leg up on the field. And Cantley, even though Cantley went down, he still finished, I think, 7th. So Cantley X was enough to kind of boost that lineup with the other 4 guys not doing horrible. This week, we're at TPC Deer Run, Silvis, Illinois, John Deere Classic, par 71, 7,300, 4 par 3s, 3 par 5s, 11 par 4s. 14th hole is also drivable. There's not a lot to say about this. Kenny Kim has a full breakdown. He'll have it on the site fairways are way above average to hit. greens are way above average to hit. Bent grass greens, probably a little bit above average. It's kind of a birdie fest. I mean, it's going to be 18, 19 under, probably at worst. Could get up in the 20s. You know, I don't want to say it's a second shot course. I mean, you can probably, you know, still get some off the tee. It is, you want to be in the fairway, but they're pretty easy to hit. So, you know, wedge fest, wedge and putting, you know, you hate to say that, but it's kind of what it, you know, who can stick the wedges the closest or make the putts, you know, and give yourself a chance at, you know, 7, 8, 9 birdies a day, you know, looks at. You want to make, I mean, you're going to want to be 4 or 5 under each day, or go low one day, obviously, but, you know, just how it is. Right now, the weather looks pretty nice for the most part. Stronger winds Thursday. Nothing that, not a wave advantage per se, but that just looks like the strongest day right now. There's some PM showers possible late Friday. We'll take a look. This is super early Tuesday morning when I'm recording this before the day gets going. My real job day. So by time tonight and then definitely into tomorrow for final thoughts, we'll see if anything shakes loose on the weather, but it's going to be nice there for the most part. I don't think those showers come into play. Cut probably -3, -4, could see -5. I'll stick with that -3, -4. Winner, like I said, you're going to be 18 to 20 under, something like that. Prior winners, Lucas Glover, Fratelli, Michael Kim, DeChambeau, old DeChambeau V1, Ryan Moore, Spieth a couple times, Stricker 3 times. Zach Johnson had a little 3-year run where he went first, second, you know, so those kind of, you know, and then he has second back in 09 as well. So those two obviously been in here quite a bit. You know, and for the most part, fairly close. Michael Kim ran away from the field. That was 2018. That was actually my first 6-figure hit. Had Burgoon, Dahman. I want to say I had like HV3 Neiman also in that lineup. Neiman had just turned pro after the Masters. I do remember that. So, but he won by 8 strokes that year, and I think he was like 0.27% owned or something. So he wasn't involved in my lineup, but he wasn't involved in anybody's. But outside of his runaway, it's been 1 or 2 strokes or a playoff, and it's been 19, 21, 18, 22, 20, 22, 19, 20, 22. So, you know, fairly consistent on you're going to need to be hitting that, you know, close to 5 under a day to kind of win it, you know, 400 a day to be in the mix come Sunday. Key stats for me this week: good drive, strokes gain approach, opportunities inside 18 feet, birdie or better, and par 5 DK scoring. New to the course since 2016, 40, which is quite a bit for this tournament. But as we know, just the way the scheduling this year, a lot of guys heading overseas. They're going to play in the Scottish Open because it's now a co-sanctioned event with the DP World Tour, so it counts for FedEx Cup and all that. There's a big Pro-Am the Monday after this, I believe. So a lot of guys didn't want to have to get over there quickly. And then you got the guys that are on the live now who are not eligible to play in this. So 40 guys, that's quite a bit for a long-term tournament, but we'll make do with it. Very unique pricing this week. Maybe the first time ever I've only seen 8 guys 9K and above. And some may say, you know, well, Bergerwood drew, but Berger wasn't in the pricing, so they could have adjusted however they wanted to, you know, prior, because they released pricing without Berger is what I mean. But, you know, is what it is. So you know, you got 4 in the 10K, 4 in the 9K, 11 in the 8K, 39 in the 7K, 93 in the 6K. I'm sure we'll have a few Monday Qs in there as well. So you're gonna have, you know, 97 maybe in the 6K. You know, quite a bit down there. AK will get talked about a lot this week, and you know, probably the biggest thing this week is the sticker shock type deal. I talk about it on weeks like this before. We tend to do well on these kind of weeks because so many people, the sticker, you know, it is what it is, right? We're all in the same pricing, and you just got to get over that. So-and-so was 7,200 last week, and now he's 91, or, you know, it's just relative to the field and, you know, the odds and all that kind of stuff. Does it mean we got to play them? No, but there could be leverage had because people go, I'm not paying that for that guy. Okay, but in the field, is he a top 20 type, you know, potential top 10, you know, in this field? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe there are some great guys in the 7K that you're like, well, he's just as good as so-and-so in the 9K. Those kind of things will happen as we get through the next 48 hours. If you're new, we do the Sweet 16, 3 plays in a fade, or 3 plays in a bubble boy in each salary range. I have a fade of the week, sleeper of the week, a few gut feel plays of the week, betting top 5 that pop and 2 long shots provided by Prize Picks. Then we get out of here and we'll be back tomorrow for final thoughts. Almost only did 2 guys in 9K and above because there's there's just not that many. We're normally used to 12 to 14 type between the 2 salary ranges. I like McNeely. I think ownership will probably play a good leverage. I wonder how many people will just try to get even to the field on a lot of these 8, maybe 6 of the 8, 5 of the 8. And I'm early though. I'm thinking, I think I may go to some because I think either people are just going to avoid both these ranges or one of them completely. Go balance. The 8K will, seem just on paper, much stronger overall. I got 5 guys in the 8K in my top 16, for instance, and a lot cheaper price. So that does make sense. But I think if you could pick out, your 2 to 3 out of these 8 and go overweight on them and then just drop, maybe that'll be a way to go. Certainly something I'll be deep diving into as we get through tonight and into tomorrow. I like McNeely. He kind of hurt me last week, missed the cut. Hasn't been playing great. He's played here twice, a 44th and 18th last year. There was 4 years in between those two plays. So I do like the 18th last year. He is one of the better putters in the field. And most of the stats are pretty good. 10th in good drive, 48th in approach, or 45th in approach, 7th opportunities inside 18 feet, 39th in birdie or better. And those 2 stats are really 2 of the ones I'm looking at the most. Who can put it inside 18 feet the most and who makes the birdie or better? That kind of combo there is certainly something I want to look at. Course history matters to an extent. A lot of guys do play this well, but you also see some guys that, do really well and have a miscut in there. But for the most part, a lot of these guys, 80% of the time, if they're doing well, they do well. And maybe one miscut drops in there, but 4 of the 5 years, they've done really well. He's played it twice, 2 made cuts. 9,500 is just a sticker shock type factor. He may be one of the lower owned here. It'd be interesting to kind of see how ownership shakes out up here in general. My gut would say that Webb and maybe Thagala are high owned, then Hadwin, and then, that's the top end. J-Day won't be owned at all, so he'll be a super leverage play. I just don't know if he can – I just don't see him being a guy that can get to that 20 under number, or even 15 under. More of a grinder, hard course type deal. So, and then the Nican range may get peppered a little more because of all that. But there's not many that people are just going to jump to. McCarthy burned some people. He's more all putter for me than anything else. So, excuse me. I like McNeely. If I'm going to go up here, I like CH3. Played him last week. Nothing crazy, but did play him. 35th at Travelers, 18th at Memorial. He's played here 3 times every other year, a 19th, a 6th, and a 23rd. So I do like that, all 3 times he's finished inside the top 23. A little price bump. I mean, not a little, a good price bump, but again, it's all relative to the field. So I don't mind him. And then that was it, really, who I wanted. So my last in my bubble boy probably will come down to ownership. And the 2 that I would look at is Webb and Thagala, and so they're $500 apart. Webb, obviously a veteran, more, but neither have. Webb hadn't played here since 2016. Ironically, all 4 guys in the 10K range. I think Hadwin had played here in 2016, and that's it. The other 3, none of them have played here since 2016. So, one of those 2 may make my pull. Webb and Thagala. It probably comes down to ownership. Have to dive a little more. Right now, I lean Webb. Just because of the opportunities inside 18 feet and birdie or better number and approach numbers are a lot better. Both are about even on par 5, but Webb's 6th, 12th, and 2nd in those 3 categories. Thagala's 58th, 68th, and 27th. So Thagala a little bit better form probably coming in, but I do like Webb's consistency and continuously getting better. I'm not going to hold the miscut at the U.S. Open too hard on him either. 9K or 8K range. I'll go to Glover. I don't know how many people he's not shown like tremendously any flashes lately. 70th at Travelers, 60th at Memorial. But his 3 trips here, 25th, 10th, and 1st. He's 3rd in the field in opportunities inside 18 feet, 6th in birdie or better. It really just comes down to putting, and you saw that last year. Got the hot putter, won. Now, 8,300, I don't need him to win. If he can just be around there, his worst finish here since 2016 is 25th. So if I get that with some upside, I'll go to Glover, and I don't know how many people are going to jump by there. May go overlooked a little bit in this deal. Scott Stallings, 8,900. One of those guys, he's only had one miscut in the last 5 years, and then a 16th, a 5th, an 18th, and a 55th. Mixed, he's kind of, recent form's decent. Some high finishes, some miscuts. 8th last week. He's a good bent putter, 11th in my model. 21st approach, 18th opportunities inside 18 feet, 23rd in birdie or better. One of the lower in par 5 DK scoring, so a little concern there, but not really, because I think most people will be able to reach these par 5s or get close to them in the field. But that would be the only negative. But 8,900, I definitely like him this week. And Cam Davis, I'll go back to him. Played him. I play him most any week. Play him a lot in Showdown. Number 1 in birdie or better. The bogey is all he's got to avoid. 56 and a 53rd. His 2 trips here, which is 2019, 2021. A 56 and a 53rd, his last 2 out at the Travelers and Memorial. So 8,400, that kind of scoring potential. He's 26th in bent putting. I won't hold too much against him from last week. He would start out strong, really strong, and just kind of fell apart on the weekend. But I'll go back to him. And then Patrick Rogers is one of my favorite plays. You guys know my love-hate relationship with him. He's been more good than bad as of late. I just worry that he may be the hot, darling of the week at 8,800. I've only listened to partial of one pod so far. I'll listen to a lot today as I'm in the territory and stuff. But stats, he's 15th, recent form 19th, course fit 15th, bent putting 8th. So, one of the top plays on my board all the way around. He's played here 4 times since 2016, 27th, a 2nd, a 43rd, and a 23rd. So really good history. Coming off a 31st at the U.S. Open, 18th at RBC. And there's not much for me not to like about him. Just ownership. That's the only reason why he's on the bubble boy is, if we have a lazy week, which we talk about in the past, normally it's coming off a major. This is more because there's not much, attraction to the field. A lot of people will concentrate around the same group of guys, and maybe doesn't mean we don't play him, but we'll have to make our calls tomorrow night. Okay, I'll play Rogers, but I'm not going to play, so-and-so because he's also getting talked up. Those kind of things are the deep dive type stuff. 7K range, I go back to Goddard up, missed the cut at RBC, 43rd at the U.S. So that was a big week where everybody got on him. 43rd at the U.S. Open, 35th last week. He's 1st in approach, 4th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 45th in birdie or better, 7th in par 5 DK scoring. So a lot to like about him. I don't know how talked up he'll get this week at 7,300. Obviously, limited data there on those numbers, but still, relatively, just a solid pedigree. Which we talked about 4 weeks ago at the RBC. I just didn't realize. I knew more. I knew him more about him in the sense that he played here at OU this last year. It didn't figure the industry would jump that much on him like they did, and obviously burned a lot of people, including myself. But I hopped right back on the last 2 weeks, and he's been fine. At this price, he makes the cut and gives us a top 30 upside. I'll take that. Sam Ryder, hit or miss guy in general, has played here 3 times, 2nd, 18th, and 58th. So he's made the cut every time. $7,100. I like that price, especially in this field. 35th last week, 20th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 9th in birdie or better, 6th in par 5 DK scoring. So, he's a boomer bust a little bit, but in this field, I don't mind that as much. 3 straight made cuts here, so I like that. With that upside of an 18th and a 2nd at that price, that's what we're kind of looking for this week. So I'll go to Ryder. Kazire, definitely go to him. I like playing him and when it's these kind of birdie fest situations. He's played here 3 times as well. 25th, 30th, and 11th. So 3 times, 3 top 30s, 1 almost top 10, $7,400. He's 4th in birdie or better, 11th in opportunities inside 18 feet. Just need a good putter to show up, and he could be right there. And these kind of weeks, he tends to show up more times than not. And Adam Schenk is $7,700. Only he's like Rogers. I think he'll be popular. He's actually number 2 on my overall model. And you get course history. He missed his first cut ever here, and then a 6th and a 4th. Coming in with really good form, a 26th at Memorial, 24th at the Open. He did miss last week, but 22nd par 5 scoring, 8th in birdie or better, 14th in opportunities inside 18 feet. He's 19th in bent putting. Got to think he's going to pop high in a lot of models this week. So only reason why he's a bubble boy is does he get popular? And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Maybe we don't play Rogers and Shank. We do one or the other. Or maybe they're both in a pool and we set up a rule to say at most one. Maybe doing some more of that this week where I say, I'm going to play some of these guys that I like. I don't care about the ownership as much, but I'm going to make sure my builds are unique in the sense where I go, okay, these 5 guys I want at most 2 or, something like that. We'll talk a little bit about that more tomorrow as well. 6K range, really dicey down here. Kind of like up top. I think maybe you take your stands on some guys. Take a few stands on the 6K, take a few stands on the 9 to 10, and then maybe try to get a lot more of the 7 and 8 range this week could be a way to go. Kevin Tway, 6,300. This is more. I mean, he made the cut last week. A little upside. He's definitely a boomer bust play, but 6,300. All we need is a made cut. He's played here 4 times, 4 straight years. Obviously, 2020 nobody played, but 4 straight years for him, 12th, a 50th, a missed cut, and a 23rd. So something he likes about here, 10th in birdie or better, 4th in par 5 DK scoring. Irons can be a little off. That's probably his downside. He's 20th in bent putting, but obviously likes this course. Has done what, 6,300. All we need is a made cut and that upside. And so made cut, unless we get a super low 6 to 6, isn't the only thing, but when I see a 23rd and a 12th here, that tells me made cut plus we got a top 20 upside. And at that price, that's what we want to look for. Chase Seifert, I play him more times than I probably should. Only played here once, but finished 28th last year. I like that. Okay for him coming in at 28th at RBC, missed the cut at the Open, 19th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 23rd approach, mid-pack, or a little bit above mid-pack on birdie or better on par 5. Recent form, 31st in the field. Bent putting, he's one of the worst. So that's kind of, can he get a little hot this week? Make some putts. 6,700, he'd be a good play there. Cameron Percy, where's $6,600? Played here 4 years of the last 5. So he's kind of that yo-yo as well. Miscut 12th, miscut 11th. So he's had 2 top 12s and 2 miscuts. A 59th at RBC. 5th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 16th in par 5 DK scoring, 63rd in birdie or better. So, he comes down to the putting too. He ranks 130th in bent green putting. So, a few of these guys, it's just, do you take, and people, well, why would we trust a putter in this type of deal? We just saw it last year with Glover. If they get hot, the rest of the game is good enough, and at 6,600, and it's not a whole lot of people want to play in the 6K range anyway. So, anybody down here is going to, especially in this field, is going to have some flaws, and you're just going to have to try to eat it. Bubble boy for me is Chappell. Hasn't played here since 2016. I don't know if he's never played here. Coming off the injury from a while back, but slowly getting back together. Stats look all right. That's really kind of the thing for me. His worst, he's top 44 or better in 4 of the major ones I'm looking at. Right around that number, 44th in good drive, 42nd in opportunities, 40th in birdie or better, 29th in par 5 DK scoring. The pedigree there, we know it's, he can do well here. 6,900 just seems like a guy that I would be willing to take a chance on. Maybe he's a little bit of a flyer. Nothing that just stands out. That's why he's kind of the bubble boy on top of, to make me go there. But in this range, he's a good enough player, and we know that, kind of upside that he has that, maybe he's worth a flyer or MME pool at least. Fade of the week for me, so obviously it'd be like Day. I don't want any part of Day this week, but that everybody's going to say that. So I think my deal is I will probably fade, there's what I say, 8. I'll probably fade at least 5, if not 6 of the 9K and above as of right now. If it really looks like a lot of people are just completely bouncing off these guys, maybe I pull in a 3rd or a 4th guy. Most I'll have is 4, but I don't even know if I get there. So maybe 2 or 3 I decide on, take my stance, and then just drop down. Sleeper of the week is Lanto. I played him last week, talked him up a little bit, looked great out the gate, and then went like quad, birdie, bogey, double, birdie, bogey, or something like that to finish. Kind of got him just, in a place where he had to get to, I don't remember last week's cut was like 3 under or something like that. 2 under maybe. That quad double on the back just hurt him. But then he comes back, and shoots. I think he shot 67 on Friday. So I like that he bounced back, shot well. Didn't make the cut, but he had it there. And at 8,200, maybe people just see his last 3 tournaments, miscut, 51st. He's played her once, got a 60th, but overall, his stats look good. Could be a low owned in that 8K range that most people don't go to. That's why I got him as that kind of sleeper of the week. 5-6% Lanto. I don't mind going there this week. Gut feel plays for me. I'm going Lebiota, 7,300. Guy can make birdies in bunches. These kind of guys this week, you're taking chances on any of them. There's gonna be negatives, but he's a guy I like a lot. To make that pull. Sevenson, $7,700. He'll probably get talked up. He's been talked up from weeks to weeks. Did have an 18th here in 2019. He's coming in with decent form, a 45th, a 21st, and a 25th. So I like that a lot. Second in course fit rating. So, he's only played here once, but, played here decently, coming in good form. Scott Brown, not a guy that I would ever have even dreamed of, even Sunday when I started research. He always partners with Kisner. This is going to be more of a course fit tie. He's 7,000. So 16th, 25th, 12th, and 4th with 1 miscut in 2019. Just not much form. This is just a pure, he plays this course well, plays it almost every year. He's 5th in birdie or better, 28th in par 5 DK, and 32nd in opportunities at 18 feet. I'll take a flyer on him. I don't think he'll get much to talk about. And then Nick Taylor, like him a lot. I played him a lot. He's played here 5 years straight. Miscut to start out. And then the last 3 years, 34th, 33rd, 28th. So I like that he's gotten better every single year he's been here. He's got a 28th at RBC, missed the cut at the Open. All stats, he's top 33 or better in the entire field, including 13th at opportunities at 18 feet and 13th in approach. 32nd birdie or better and 23rd par 5 DK in scoring. So I like Nick Taylor this week, 7,500. Top 5 of the pop and 2 long shots provided by Prize Picks. Use the link in the description. Use the code GUP. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. We're doing well over there. Took obviously last Friday with putting my oldest dog to sleep and all that with the kids. First dog that they've seen kind of go away. Took that day off, I believe, but. This week may be it'd be interesting to kind of see how they set some of these lines. But it's rolling for NASCAR, UFC. We'll have it, obviously, college football, NFL, all that kind of stuff. It's a great time to jump in there right now. My top 5 are like Rogers, 30 to 35. Kazire, 80 to 1 is a good number. Davis, 35 to 40. Nick Taylor, 70. Goddard, 80. 2 long shots. I like Sam Ryder, 125, and Lebiota, 100. Tomorrow I'll be back. Final thoughts. I'll have my final 5 one and done. Don't forget British 30% off week-long trial. Then you get your first charge. If you cancel in that week, you never see a charge. No harm, no foul. Got a little, I think the Scottish Open is going to be nice this year because it is a lot more guys are playing in it because they get that chance at that FedEx Cup because it's co-sanctioned type deal. And then we get the Open, which is one of my, I like that major a lot, mainly because of the overnight. This, it's different for the year. Definitely one I like the most. And 3M Open, Rocket Mortgage Classic. Then we head to the FedEx Cup playoffs, college football, NFL, all that kind of stuff. Come join us. British gets you 30% off. Y'all have a good Tuesday. I will be back tomorrow. I'll have all the content out later on tonight. Thank you guys. Have a good day.